Hello and welcome to Pisces Moon Astrology. I'm your astrologer, Kate Leonard, and I'm excited to explore the stars with you. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the week of October 12th through October 18th. And what a Venus kind of week we have in front of us. I cannot wait to get into this. First, let me say thank you for being here. Thank you for listening, sharing, rating. Yeah, if you could share the podcast with people you know, I would be so grateful. But anyway, I'm just grateful that you're here right now listening. So let me start talking about something that matters to you. And I know that's Venus. Because what is Venus? Love, relationships, money, beauty, comfort. You know, the goddess of everything good. And she's doing a little menage a trois this week. Yes, she is. I'm looking at the grand air trine. That is basically the as good as it gets, right? Trines are the most positive aspect, and we've got 3 trines. So yay. We've got Venus in Libra, and she is making a trine to Pluto in Aquarius and Uranus in Gemini. And of course, because it's a big old giant triangle, Pluto and Uranus are also making trines to each other. So this is just picture a giant, positive, flowing, abundant, happy triangle. Have you ever thought of a happy triangle? I never actually did, but trust me, this one is that. So yeah, like I said, she's bringing up all the Venus stuff in the most positive ways. Before we get into the details of all that, let me tell you about the stuff I'm not going to be talking about, just so you're kind of aware, because if these things are hitting your chart, your natal chart, in an important way, then you'll want to know about them, right? So on 10, 13th, or 14th, depending on where you are, Pluto is going to station direct in Aquarius. This means that retrograde motion, and Pluto is difficult. He's power, he's dark power, he rules Hades. The last thing we need is retrograde confusion with all of that. So he is going to station direct. So power issues, at least moving in a direct and more straightforward way. Honestly, unless Pluto is hitting one of your natal planets or your angles, I really think we're going to be feeling this stuff on the world stage more than we're going to feel it in our personal lives. But it's not nothing. It's not nothing. So, thought I'd throw it out there. On the 16th, the sun in Libra will square Jupiter in Cancer. Now, a square is not great. I don't care who's involved. A square is tense energy. It means that something needs to be navigated. So think of a square as a 90-degree angle. You don't take that turn smoothly, right? There's something you're going to have to figure out and negotiate and take it a little bit carefully. We've got the sun, that's our ego, our public presentation, how we shine in the world, and Jupiter, who expands things. So, what do I think the worst is going to be of this is maybe a little egomaniac kind of stuff going on. This can be from us, this could be from others, all of the above. We all live under this sky, right? All right, so rein in your egos, take a little minute, check yourself. You know how to do this. Then on the 18th, Mars, the god of assertion and energy and the warrior in the best way, because he's making a trine to the North Node. This is sort of destiny on fire. So this is going to be energy and inspiration to move toward our destiny. I love that a lot, actually. I love that a lot, but not nearly so much as I love this Venus grand air trine. So let's talk about that. Now, if you go over to my Substack, it's free. You should be over there, and it's a really easy place to talk to me, too. Anywho, if you go over to Substack, I've posted the graph of this week's trine. You will notice that it's actually a kite. So while Venus is making this wonderful, wonderful grand air trine, she's also opposing Neptune. And you know I don't like Neptune. So if you go over and look at the chart, it's a kite, and that Venus-Neptune opposition is the spine of the kite. And then we've got Pluto, Uranus, Neptune making the little triangle at the top. I know that sounds really confusing when you're just trying to picture it in your head. So go to Substack, look at the graph. It'll make it so much easier. Now, the reason I'm not talking about this as a kite is because the top piece, it's old news. We've talked about it. We've gone over it. In fact, I think I did a few episodes on that. So when we've got energy that's been sitting around for a while, it is not usually what we're feeling the most because it's already done its thing and become kind of the new normal. What I think we're going to be feeling is this Venus energy, the grand air trine, and the opposition to Neptune, which is the not as great part because one, opposition, and two, if you've listened to me for 10 minutes, I do not like Neptune. I have people come over and argue with me about that all the time. You guys, at not best, he has some good things when he's really working well, but it's just so rare that he's working well. He also rules lack of clarity. He rules lying, deception, delusion. I don't know why people fight so hard for Neptune. I seriously, honestly don't. But anyway, he's in an opposition, and yeah, it's not great. And I don't want to be a Debbie Downer because this week's energy is wonderful. Okay, so hold on to that. The reason I'm bringing up the opposition to Neptune first is because it's strongest at the beginning of the week. So hang tight at the beginning of the week, get to like Wednesday, and then moving forward. And at that point, Venus is moving out of her exact opposition. And so this energy is going to be bye-bye, rear view mirror, see you later. Okay? But at the beginning of the week, we are going to lack clarity in all things about Venus. Don't dye your hair fuchsia on Monday. Please don't. You're not seeing things clearly, and you might live to regret that. Don't say I do. Don't say I don't. All right? Both could be, you could regret either of those later in the week. We are not seeing clarity. You artists and creatives out there, don't hit delete. Don't set the canvas on fire. Don't turn down the stage role acting thing. Don't accept it all the way. Don't sign the contract, right? Don't do these permanent things because you're not seeing clearly, or at least that's very likely at the beginning of the week, okay? That's all this opposition means. Just hang tight for a couple of days. Now, I promise, now we get into all the good stuff. And let me be clear, the air trine is happening at the beginning of the week so that the blessings are coming in. It's just that lack of clarity is going to add confusion to the mix. So just sort of take in the vibes, check and see what's around you, wait till Wednesday, and then jump on that stuff, right? Then say I do, then say I don't, then sign the contract, whatever it, then dye your hair fuchsia, you go. All right. When I say this is gorgeous, it is gorgeous. First, what's an air trine? Air is our thoughts, our minds, our communication, conversation. It's socializing, it's interacting with people. It's all of the stuff that comes out of our brains, right? All of the stuff that connects us with others. And it's flowing beautifully, like a perfectly, okay, I'm going to use an analogy kind of thing that I don't even understand my own self. So it's like a perfectly wired circuit board. I don't know if you wire circuit boards, but whatever, you get what I'm saying? Like all the connections are working and the energy is flowing. This is a good time. Venus is relationships of all kinds. business relationships, love, sisters, friends, anything relationship. So having air on our side where communication is flowing so well. Do you see why this is like the most brilliant, wonderful air trine? I love it. All right, let me try to calm down here. All right, the other thing that I want to talk about to just set the stage, Venus is in Libra. So she rules Libra. This is the queen on her own throne. She has her whole kingdom available. Nobody's holding her back. She has all of her resources. So her loving, positive, unifying vibe, yeah, it's completely available. Nothing is getting in her way. You know, when she goes through somebody else's sign, then maybe that energy doesn't work as well for her and we don't get the best of Venus. This is Venus at her best. I also want to say just the simple thing about Venus going through Libra. Libra is the fair play, balance, let's make everybody okay sign. So Venus in Libra is a really good energy for helping to smooth things out. So if there's some relationship that's been kind of tense or a little bit on the wonky side, this is a really good week to maybe say, hey, want to have a cup of coffee? Let's talk. Because this is really great stuff for just kind of, yeah, smoothing it out, bringing around a positive, gentle end result. You get what I'm saying? All right. I want you to find Libra in your chart because that's going to be a place where you're especially feeling this energy. So first house, self-love. Third house, siblings. She rules sisters. Fourth house, family. Fifth house, children and your art. Sixth house, health. I know I skipped second. Why did I do that? Money. Seventh, your primary relationship. Eighth, your relationship to trauma. So it's a good time for healing with Venus in Libra. But also investors. Ninth house is higher education. So talking to your professors or your students. It's spirituality. So talking to spiritual advisors, talking to people in your coven, you know, all of that kind of stuff. And it's foreign travel. So get your girlfriends together and book some flights, but not till Wednesday. 10th house is career. 11th house is your tribe. It's your group identity. 12th house is the hidden house. So this is working behind the scenes on whatever needs Venus energy. And it's also going really deep and working on maybe shadow material and all of that kind of stuff. All right. Just to give you a quick, here's where she is. But because it's a grand air trine, we're going to be feeling this in general. You're not going to only get these blessings in that house. I just want to say you get a special whammy there, so you might want to get to know that house really well. All right, so let's start with the first leg of the trine. Remember, this is a big old giant triangle, and this is Venus Pluto. This is literally, what's that song? The Power of Love? Who sings that? Somebody I don't know. This is what it is, Pluto's power. And Pluto's transformative power. So the power of love and also empowering love. So this is one of those times when you will feel transformed by relationships, feel overwhelmed, not in a bad way though, by love. This is a time when you will feel empowered to say it. I love you. And they, he, she, whoever it is. And the I love you, you know, if it's coming from a boss, isn't going to be, let's hope it's not going to be I love you, but it will be that feeling. So here's the raise you've deserved. But this is really the time to empower all Venus issues in your life. Ask for the raise. Go deep into self-love. State your feelings, all right? It's gorgeous. I love it. And the other leg of the triangle coming from Venus goes to Uranus. How do we empower our love? And remember, Uranus and Pluto hook up with the third trine. Do you follow me? Picture a triangle. That bottom piece, that's Uranus Pluto. What's Uranus? The rebel, the think outside of the box planet, the I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to be authentic. I am going to bring it. I'm going to bring me. Do you get it? And that's what empowers us because we finally go, no, I'm not following the rules in love, in art. You artists, you writers, this is, and people, you guys, when I'm talking about artists and writers, I'm using those two labels because I cannot possibly list all the kinds of creativities. Creativities? Creativity. But this is just living a creative life, which hopefully we all do. So these messages that I send out there for artists and writers, they're also just about living creatively. And how do we do that? We do it by being uniquely us. What is that? There's a saying that writers say to each other all the time, which is like, only you can write your story. This is true about living your life, loving your love, doing your relationship. Only you can do it. If you're trying to fit into somebody else's mold, box, model, that's not you. That's not going to be as powerful. You're going to be faking it. Do you want to be in an open relationship, but you don't feel like you have that permission? Well, then you're going to feel trapped always. And if you're feeling trapped, you're not going to be your best in that relationship. Do you want to be in a monogamous, put the ring on it, just me and you, babe, forever and always? Well, then don't say yes to something that isn't that because you will not be happy. It's not you. You're not living your truth. And if you do that, you may stay. How many married couples do I work with right now that come to me because it's like we've been together 50 years and we suck? They don't say it like that, but that's what it is. And it's because this relationship, it don't fit, right? You get what I'm saying? Artists, this is your time. Get wild, get wonderful. Artists of life, get wild, get wonderful because it is going to bring the power to everything Venus. So I was using that magenta hair thing earlier. Yeah. If you want rainbow stripes in your hair, dye those babies in there right now and you will feel like a new you. But if you've been doing it because that's what your tribe does, forget it. If that's not you, that's not you. This is glorious energy this week, you guys, but it comes from your authenticity. It comes from your courage to say no to conformity, whatever that looks like for you in everything Venus. How do we get that courage from Pluto? We're going to be standing in our power. Do you see how amazing this is? So I have people tell me all the time, like, Kate, I hear you. I do because you're screaming. I hear you, but I just can't. I can't let my mom know that I'm gay. I can't let my husband know that I want to be in an open relationship. I can't quit my job. I've had that job for like 100 years and they depend on me. This is the time that you will have the courage from Pluto. You will have the inspiration from Uranus. We are talking about anything having to do with beauty, comfort, luxury, love, friendship, family relationships. You get what I'm saying, right? Art, creativity of all kinds, how we parent our children, all of these things, they will be empowered by Pluto. And when you grab that Uranus energy and bring in that authenticity, oh my gosh, Pluto is also deep transformation. So stand in your power, stand in your authenticity, play this week. Feel free to experiment. If you don't know if you want an open relationship, and I'm just using that example because it's an easy one to kind of make the point, apply it to whatever area in your life. You don't know you want your hair dye. You don't know you want to be a famous oil painter. You've always been a writer before. I don't know. Play with it. Uranus loves that sort of unexpected, like, hey, today, let's do this thing. We don't have to do this thing forever and always, but let's try it, right? Have the courage to experiment and try. If it feels like it might be coming from inside you, explore. You will find a new power, a new depth to your Venus, your love, your relationships. You will find a new relationship to you because Venus is also self-love. Okay, I think you guys get it. I love this week. I would love it so much, you guys, if you would go over to Substack or wherever you want to do this and leave me comments about where you're empowered, what area of life got empowered this week, what relationships blossomed. This is also a good week for new relationships, especially if you've been keeping them a little bit secret, like maybe you've had an interest in someone and just didn't feel, listen to it, empowered to act on it. This is a good week for that. And deepening existing relationships. So those of you already coupled up, get authentic. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am forever grateful for all of you. Book end of year, year ahead, natal sessions right now. Get on the calendar. Even if it goes into next year, if you book before the first of the year, you're going to get my old prices because prices are going up. So I would love to work with you. And yeah, that's what I got for now. I love this week. And until next week, go out and seize the energies of the stars. Wow, what a week to do that, right? And I will see you on the other side. Bye.